It's the NCAA tournament. It's on Westwood 1.
It will be Grant Hill to make the pass. They're not going to guard Hill making the inbounds pass. Here's a high looper. There's Leitner. He turns. He shoots. It is good. Christian Leitner hits a turnaround 17-footer at the buzzer. And the Duke Blue Devils head to Minneapolis. My, oh my, oh my.
6.9 to go. In it comes to Ethan Morton. He's going to dribble this one out. And the second verse is the same as the first. UConn repeats as national champions.
Now it's time to head courtside for Westwood 1's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament.
We welcome you to Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio for exclusive coverage of the 2025 Men's Basketball Championship. We're in the East Region, the 10-seed Vanderbilt Commodors and the 7-seed St. Mary's Gaels. Today's broadcast of the NCAA tournament on the Westwood 1 NCAA Radio Network is sponsored by AutoZone, by Cintas, by Granger, by Pluto TV, by Kohl's, by Progressive Insurance, and by NCAA.com. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Graham, along with former Penn State and UCLA guard John Crispin. Brad Heller joins us later from the Westwood 1 Broadcast Center. And our second game of the day here in Cleveland is for the right to face Alabama here on Sunday in the East Region. The 7-seed Gaels of St. Mary's, the 10-seed Vanderbilt Commodores. And John, you take a look at this, and Vandy started out the season really well. Then they ran into the rest of the SEC. After a 13-1 start, they're 7-11 over their last 18 games. Meanwhile, St. Mary's won their conference regular season championship, went through a nightmare of a championship game against Gonzaga, and they have the question hanging overhead of when are they going to be able to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, they've had a lot of those nightmare games against Gonzaga, and ultimately it's a reminder that the team, the way they play, was built to be able to get here. Getting past the first round is the challenge, because what wins in the NCAA tournament is, yes, a strong defense, but it's also the ability to score. It's a St. Mary's team that really plays inside-out basketball. Think Revolutionary War-style tactics, right? Your turn, my turn, we line up against one another type of game. If they can control the game to get it to that point, they have a great chance. Now, the thing is, on the other side, you have a Mark Byington who wants to play faster than they have been playing. But the reality is you have to coach the team that you're able to assemble on a yearly basis. That's what we're dealing with in college basketball right now. They're playing much slower, and he's not going to fight that. They're going to play the game that puts them in the best position to win, and that might be the game that St. Mary's wants to play.
And you talk about the team that you're able to put together. Vanderbilt is the poster child for that right now. After a struggle last year in which they won only 9 games, an 11-win improvement. All of the top 8 of their players who get the most time on the court are transfers.
Yeah, and I think Mark Byington is the prime example of coaching in the modern era, and that is just over the last couple years, because you assemble what you can assemble, and you have to coach the personnel that you've got. What he's done with this group has been remarkable, given how bad they were last year, and they were picked to finish last in a really tough league, and they fought their way through well.
St. Mary's right now with the most consecutive NCAA appearances, 4 of them in program history. They'd love to get to next week. Starting lineups in the opening tip are next. For the Westwood 1 NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's Basketball Tournament.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boost, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Hit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. You can choose to get out there. Choose your people. You could choose to go for it. No, like really go for it.
Fourth down, 28-yard line.
Just choose to do something that moves you. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. Mazda. Move and be moved.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager. So
what's up, insiders, basketball fans all over the world? Thank you so much for hanging out with us today during March Madness. Oh man, we're having so much fun. We've got streams going for every single game of the tournament. We're tracking our brackets. It's a lot of fun in the chat. Please chat it up. Hit that like button down below and share this link out. That's going to be the best way to bring more basketball fans here to the chat. And we're already seeing thousands of fans come into the first stream of 16 on Thursday. I'm going to let Joe take it home. We appreciate you being here.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So like, subscribe, and share, because every click impacts SickKids' mission to heal the future.
Coming into this game, they're going to have to embrace the slow.
Yes, they are going to have to embrace the pace, embrace the slow. That's part of it. Embrace the slow. That's part of it. But with good ball movement, you can create half-court pace, and that's something that Vandy's going to have to do. They're going to have to move the basketball east to west, put a little pace in the half-court, but do so by creating rhythm on the floor. What you don't want to do is play slow to the point where there's no rhythm. You've got to create rhythm with your ball movement. That's going to be the biggest key. And if you look at St. Mary's is one of the more interesting teams in the field because they have to get the game played a certain way. They can't allow transition opportunities. They got to force this Vanderbilt team to play against a reset or a set defense. If they can do that, this game certainly favors St. Mary's. She's had a terrific season with so much experience and size.
All right, so let's check the starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. Vanderbilt is 20-12 on the season, the 10th seed in the East. Their lineup looks this way. Their leading scorer is a freshman, Jason Edwards, 6'2", 190 out of Atlanta, Georgia, averaging 17 points per game. Tyler Nickel, junior, 6'7", 220 out of Harrisonburg, Virginia, averages 10.5 points per game. A.J. Hogard, grad student, transfer from Michigan State, averages almost 10 points and better than 4.5 assists per game. He's 6'4", 220 out of Coatesville, PA. Chris Magnon, a transfer from Cornell, grad student, 6'5", 215. And Devin McLaughlin, a junior, 6'7", 230 out of Cumming, Georgia, averaging 10.5 points and almost 8 boards per game. The head coach, Mark Byington, in his first season, 20 wins this year, 239 in his career. The Gaels of St. Mary's out of the WCC, 28-5 on the season. They are one of two teams, along with Marquette, who we'll see tonight, that started the same lineup every game this year. Jordan Ross, sophomore out of Pleasant Grove, Utah, 6'3", 190. Augustus Marciulonis, the back-to-back WCC Player of the Year. The senior out of Lithuania, 6'4", 200, averaging 14.5 points and better than 6 assists per game. Mitchell Saxon, 6'10", 250 out of Seattle, a grad student and the Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 10.5 points and 8 boards. Paulius Morauskas, sophomore, 6'8", 235, averages 12.5 points and 8 boards. And Luke Barrett, a redshirt senior, 6'6", 215 out of Piedmont, California, 9.8 points and 6.7 rebounds. The head coach, Randy Bennett, 481 wins. Time now for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? They offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Terry Oglesby, Tony Chiazza, and Tommy Johnson are the officials. Vanderbilt in the traveling black with the old gold and white trim. St. Mary's in the home white with the red letters and numbers, and the tip comes directly to my feet. It ends up going out of bounds. I made no play for it. Larry Costigan, our producer, did. But the ball will go Vanderbilt's way, going from our left to our right.
That's because we're not the ones that set up and own this equipment.
That is correct. Vanderbilt passing around the outside. Hogard with the ball in his hands up on top for Nickel. Now one touch McLaughlin far side. Back to Edwards, head of the circle. Shot clock already down to 6. He steps back into a three-pointer. Shot is no good, and St. Mary's a rebound. You're going to hear that a lot. Mitchell Saxon grabbed it. St. Mary's has the biggest rebounding differential against their opponents in America.
They play position defense, so they don't have to over-rotate. They're in rebounding position, usually at all times.
Jordan Ross missed on a corner 3, and now the rebound down. Hogard driving, and a finger roll layup is good for the first points of the game for Vanderbilt.
He said that's the one thing you cannot allow if you're St. Mary's is transition opportunities, and no one stopped the ball. Hogard all the way to the rim.
Marshallonis and Morauskas playing catch along the outside. Now far corner for Jordan Ross. Back to Marshallonis. He'll drive into the lane. Euro step. Kick to the corner. Left side 3. Morauskas missed it. And a second rebound quickly for Devin McLaughlin. But his outlet pass is stolen by Mitchell Saxon. St. Mary's with the basketball back in the offensive end. Here's Barrett on the left side. Feeds the post down low. Morauskas gets a double team. Long cross-court pass. Great save by Barrett. Nope. He came down with 1 foot on the line on that high airmail pass. And it will be a St. Mary's turnover. Vanderbilt gets it back.
It's a good possession to read and learn from if you're St. Mary's. If the double's going to come, you have to make crisp passes out of the double, which ultimately punishes a defense that's going to double the post. It's the first advantage you can create. Bring 2 to the basketball. You're going to get open shots out of it if you make good passes.
A.J. Hogard brings it across half court. Played at Michigan State. 34 starts for them last year. He throws to Nickel coming off the screen right side. Three-pointer on the way from the right, no good. Long arm for the rebound for Marshallonis, and he trots it into the forecourt for St. Mary's. Drop it down for Morauskas. Double team comes for Barrett. They swing it all the way around on the reversal for Marshallonis. And now the entry pass stolen away by Hogard. He fires ahead. Edwards driving. Layup is good. 4-0 Vanderbilt on top.
Both baskets coming in transition off of a steal or a bad pass.
St. Mary's, as we said, coming off a nightmare game in the WCC final. 0 for 16 from three-point range and 18 turnovers in season high. Barrett, left corner 3, and it rattles home. First points of the game for the Gaels.
St. Mary's is going to have opportunities for those corner 3s if they can pass out of a double, but also if you can continue to lift the defense up by half court. One extra pass gets you an open one.
Vanderbilt 4, St. Mary's 3, 2.5 minutes in here in Cleveland. The winner will play on Sunday against Alabama in the round of 32 in the East region. Hogard with the dribble up on top. Hands it off far side. Magnon driving, dishing. McLaughlin shot is blocked away. Coming over and making the play, Morauskas, and there's going to be a foul on Magnon after the rebound for St. Mary's. The foul call on Vanderbilt will send it back the other way.
Well, sitting here courtside, the most obvious thing is the size advantage for St. Mary's. And so long as they don't get too far extended and chase the play, if they're in position to protect the rim, they're going to win that battle.
They not only play the same starting lineup, they play the same guys on the floor an awful lot per game. Morauskas right at the hash mark on the right side. Now he drops all the way back to the half-court stripe. Getting it off for Ross on the right side. Shot clock at 8. Bounce pass down low. Saxon working in. They come back out to the near side. Barrett, a runner, left of the lane. Shot no good. Got his own rebound, then he lays it home on the reverse side.
And all set up yet again by Mitchell Saxon in the post. Having to double late, get that ball out, you're going to get an open look.
5-4, St. Mary's takes their first lead. Here's McLaughlin, one touch to the near side into the hands of Nickel. Back off to Edwards off a screen. Three-pointer for the top is good for Jason Edwards.
A team that hasn't played at a fast pace this year in Vanderbilt, but they are willing to shoot quick open shots if they get them.
This is the type of game we expected to see, at least in these opening 4 minutes. Marshallonis, bounce pass on a pick and roll, and a driving shot is good for Mitchell Saxon. 7-7 our score, 4 minutes in.
Experience from Marshallonis, just working the ball screen like a 35-year-old European veteran.
Well, he's been around the block a little bit in this program, a big part of what St. Mary's has been for the last few years. Up on top, Edwards with the dribble, slides it near side. Hogard, one-touch pass to the inside for Magnon, and he is fouled on the play. The foul call will go on Saxon for St. Mary's, and it's also going to bring us to a timeout on the court, sponsored by Rocket. Own the dream. 15:39 to go first half of play. It's Vanderbilt 7, St. Mary's 7. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
Riley Herbst here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boosts, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Pit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
7-7 ball game, early first half here in Cleveland for Vanderbilt at St. Mary's. Let's check each team's tournament resume, sponsored by Monster.com. Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. Monster.com provides great coaching and millions of job openings. Get off the bench. Go to Monster.com today. St. Mary's is the number 7 seed. This is their lowest seeding since being an 11 seed back in 2019, but they're making their 14th NCAA tournament appearance, their 4th in a row. As a 7 seed, they are 1-2 all time. Vanderbilt, well, it's been a while. 16th NCAA tournament appearance, but they've lost 7 of their last 8 tournament games. They haven't played a tournament game since 2017. They get it back in. Edwards pops a 3, shot no good, and the rebound down to Saxon for St. Mary's.
First 4 minutes of the game doesn't tell you everything, but what I'm seeing is that this game comes down to shot making for Vanderbilt and ultimately game management for St. Mary's.
That's something that the Gaels are very good at as they pass it around the perimeter. Here's Barrett. Crossover dribble down left side of the lane. Pull-up shot on the way, and it's good. Luke Barrett hitting from in close and giving St. Mary's a 9-7 lead.
Luke Barrett doing a good job around the perimeter, managing the pressure and attacking open space with his physicality.
Hogard cross half court. Driving down the lane, got an open lane, now dishes off, and a 2-fisted jam for Jalen Carey, who checked in at the timeout.
Edwards is important for Vanderbilt, but A.J. Hogard and his ability to work and manage the ball screen options, he might be the key to this game for Vanderbilt.
Morauskas back to Marshallonis. He stands 23 feet from the hoop on the left, now dribbles around the top of the arc, throws back behind Barrett. Wide open look from 3, shot no good, and the rebound with authority for Jalen Carey. He carries it into the forecourt himself, and he gets fouled on the way in. He was looking for somebody to pass to, John, and they just let him go.
He also, once he got through closer to the rim, he was looking for some body contact, which he found and picked up the foul on Saxon.
Scott Graham, John Crispin here at our Grainger broadcast position in Cleveland. For the ones who get it done, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade products for all industries. Fast delivery, free technical support. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Inbound from the near baseline for Grant Huffman. They get it inbounds, and a three-pointer for Edwards hits the side of the backboard.
A little test here for St. Mary's with Mitchell Saxon picking up his second foul, going to Wessels early.
Marshallonis around that screen from Wessels. And Marshallonis lost the handle on the dribble, got it back again. But there's going to be a foul call on Marshallonis in that fight for the basketball.
In their first game, Nate Oates talked about the physicality and how they had to be cautious of how the game was called. I would say if St. Mary's can't be physical, it'd be a tough one here because Vanderbilt can really get them chasing.
9-9 ball game as Huffman holds on the outside for the Commodors. Goes back behind into the hands of Nickel. Nickel leaves for Edwards, now in between the circles. Shot clock at 12. Around a screen up on top. Edwards left of the lane. Still with the ball in his hands, gets it to Carey down low. Spinning move with 5 on the shot clock. His shot is up and good. Carey has scored twice since checking into the ball game. 4 lead changes so far.
Yeah, and they're confident going to Carey and just testing Wessels with that post defense with no help.
11-9 Vanderbilt. Ross throws to the near corner and a three-pointer on the way. Missed woefully short by Morauskas. Back the other way with the rebound and the quick release. Vanderbilt, but Edwards gets his shot blocked by Jordan Ross. Now back the other way. And St. Mary's into the more familiar slowdown pattern. Ross around the top of the circle. Try to set up a screen from Wessels. Gets it. Now the pick and roll. Wessels got a mismatch down low. Instead throws out. They reverse the basketball. Barrett, a three from the right. Shot no good. But a foul call on the rebound as Grant Huffman put his arm in the back of Harry Wessels. And it's going to stay St. Mary's way. Later on, we'll select the Smart Coaching Move of the Day, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
St. Mary's is able to move the ball well offensively and get the defense chasing a little bit. They're going to be able to have offensive rebounding opportunities. Vandy's done a good job so far keeping them off the glass.
Inbound pass flicked away by Magnon. It'll come to the sideline. St. Mary's will inbound again. Gaels get Mikey Lewis into the game. Freshman from Oakland replaces Jordan Ross. 11-9 Vanderbilt, 12:43 to go first half. Winner of this game advances to face Alabama here on Sunday. Marshallonis back up to the top for Barrett. Big time drive down the right side. Now kick to the corner. Right side three. Morauskas missed it. And the rebound taken down by Magnon. A three-point touch that they lost in the WCC championship game is still eluding them. Carey from the top. He tries a three. It's a brick. And the rebound comes down to Morauskas for St. Mary's.
St. Mary's has gotten the better looks. Just can't get them to go.
As we said, they were 0 for 16 in that game. Now Marshallonis, it opened like the Red Sea for him. Nobody in the lane, and he lays it home to tie the game at 11.
And part of that is having bigs that understand how to hold their seal and work them up the line to open that up for Marshallonis.
Juggling on the outside. Magnon driving to the left block. Kicks back outside for Nickel. And now it's Hogard. Hogard right side, driving into the lane. Jump stop, kick back. Nickel with three. In and out. And the rebound down to Wessels for St. Mary's. Very much possession by possession half-court game right now. Lewis drops it down low on the block. Reverse lay-in. Missed everything for Morauskas. He was wide open and missed it. Back down the other way. Vandy creates some space for a three. It's around and out, no good. For Nickel, Carey got the rebound but threw it away into the hands of Marshallonis. Gaels back the other way. And Marshallonis traveled with the ball in the lane. So far, this is not a time capsule game of offensive proficiency. 11-10 to go first half of play, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Vanderbilt 11, St. Mary's 11. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets.
It's time for basketball, and right now, Uber Eats has deals on Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Get game day deals now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Choose Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You can listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament for free on the Varsity Network app. Listen to every game live or on demand. Download the Varsity Network app now and search NCAA Championships. All right, partner. We've got ourselves a tie game at 11 with 11:10 to go first half. Both teams shooting under 40%. They are a combined 2 for 15 from three-point range.
I would tell you that that's a good positive sign for St. Mary's because the misses that they're getting are good looks. And I'm one of those guys that you just trust. If you get good looks and you get the right shooter shooting them, they're eventually going to fall. You just have to find a little bit of a rhythm. This has been, as you described, a possession-to-possession contest. The first two baskets for Vanderbilt were in transition. It's the one thing Randy Bennett said he needs to eliminate. They've since done that. Mitchell Saxon with 2 fouls out, that's going to be an issue.
Well, Vanderbilt would like to be able to play, as we know, Mark Byington talking about the fact they were going to have to embrace this pace. They'd love to play at a faster pace. They average just a tick under 80 points per game. And their most recent wins against Texas A&M and Missouri, they had 86 and 97 points. Right now, they're on pace for about 50.
They're close to being able to break through and being a much faster-paced team. And you get a lot of these one-year teams. If you gave them a second year, they would know how to do it.
So Vanderbilt will bring it across, going from our left to our right. Basketball in the hands of Grant Huffman, the transfer from Davidson. Gets it off to Hogard, back behind McLaughlin, fake a three, drive down the lane, it comes wide open, and he lays it home.
Good action, and put Wessels in a bad situation where he had to close hard and just got beat to the basket by McLaughlin.
Lead once again for the Commodors, 13-11. Marshall Otis looks slightly off here, gets it to Lewis on the near side, and Lewis nowhere to go with the basketball, but it's poked out of his hand by Hogard over the sideline. 13 left on the timer, and St. Mary's will inbound.
A.J. Hogard, not known to be the best defender, but ultimately when he buys into it, he is tough. He's a crafty offensive player, and because he's learned how to do that on the offensive end, he knows how to be disruptive defensively.
Keep an eye, Mitchell Saxon back in now with 2 fouls and 10.5 still to go in this first half. Sets a big screen up on top for Marshall Otis. Now Marshall Otis driving, kicks back to Barrett. Left side three, right on line, but too strong, and the rebound comes down for Magnon for Vanderbilt. McLaughlin touch once now for Hogard on the near side. With the left-hand dribble, steps back, gets it far side for Huffman. Into the lane, kicks through. McLaughlin fakes the three, and now takes it along the baseline and threw back to Huffman. 10 on the shot clock. Huffman steps back to a three, and he got it. Grant Huffman only hits 23%, but he had all the confidence in the world as he drilled that one for a 5-point Vanderbilt lead.
Oh, he set it up well. Kind of sold a dream going baseline right. Came back with a crossover and just rising fire.
St. Mary's trying to find some offense now at the 9:45 mark. Along the outside, Moroskis misses on a three. Big rebound from Garrett, and he is... Oh, I thought he was fouled, but instead he stepped on the end line with that flying rebound. It'll go back Vandy's way as St. Mary's has now made only one of their last 8 shot attempts.
I agree. I thought he got shoved heading out of bounds, but the biggest issue is just not seeing the three go down.
Tyler Tanner now in the ball game for Vanderbilt. He dribbles it across half court. Get it to McLaughlin, driving right baseline. Throws back out to the top. They get it to Nickel. Knifing into the lane, nothing there. Back up on top for Tanner. Now they go far side of the floor. And a 3-ball for Hogard is no good from the left corner. Barrett down with the rebound for St. Mary's. 16-11, Vanderbilt on top. Coming up on 9 minutes left to go here in this first half. Barrett slides it down on the block to Saxon. He's got a double team. Throws through on that double team to the far side for Barrett. Vanderbilt's doing a good job at doubling him when he catches it on the block. 8 left on the timer now as Lewis goes to work up top. Step back 3-pointer, around, no good. Offensive rebound, no. Barrett had it stolen away by Magnon. He drives and kicks to Tanner. And Tanner gets it to McLaughlin. They are going to walk it back to the top and reset the offense. Tanner into the lane, shot fake, kick back. St. Mary's doesn't budge defensively. So Hogard will try it again, this time just left to the top of the circle. Crossover dribble, take it into the lane, shot up, no good, and the rebound comes down to Saxon for St. Mary's. They haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. Marshallonis driving, shot up and good. He finally breaks the spell on an off-balance runner in the lane to get the Gaels back to within 3.
It's the right play by Vanderbilt, not helping too much on the drive. You've got to stay engaged on Saxon down in the post.
Here's Tanner driving. Jump stop at the right block, kick back to Nickel, head of the circle. Far side, Magnon. He steps into a 19-footer, shot is no good. Marshallonis uncontested for the rebound for St. Mary's.
And even as Marshallonis pushes it up, I should have used air quotes with that, very methodical in the push.
Wide open was Barrett in the corner. Now he drives into the lane, throws back outside for Lewis. Lewis with a jab step, now driving in through the paint, and he is fouled by Tanner, who hit him from behind on the drive before he was able to throw the pass. That's going to bring us to a timeout on the court, and we have got a slow-moving basketball game going right now in Cleveland. 7:26 left to go, first half of play. It is Vanderbilt 16, St. Mary's 13. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. With great coaching and millions of job openings, Monster.com empowers you to score your next position and win the job hunt. Get off the bench and go to Monster.com today.
It's time for basketball. And right now, Uber Eats has deals on McDonald's, Popeyes, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a hamburger. Get game day deals now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
Yo, it's Jacob Hester from Off Campus on College Sports Radio. For full breakdowns of this game and more, tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Channel 84 or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Let's check some numbers, sponsored by GoodRx. Check GoodRx for simple, smart savings on weight loss, medications, and other prescriptions at GoodRx.com. Vandy's shooting 37%. St. Mary's is shooting 35%. But the biggest problem that's coming for the Gaels right now is their inability to make the three-point shot. They are 1 for 10 in this game, combined with their 0 for 16 and missing their last 4 in a Pepperdine game early in the WCC semifinal. They are 1 for their last 30 from three-point range.
Yeah,
1 for 30.
That's a problem. And I look at this contest and you say 1 for 10 from the three-point line. Well, all but one were really high-quality looks. I'm not sure if that's something you should feel good about or be more frustrated about, the fact that you're getting good ones and can't get them to go. That's off, too.
That's 1 for 31 as Lewis missed from the near side. Tip rebound belongs to Tyler Tanner. Coming to the far side of the floor for Jason Edwards. Vanderbilt with a three-point lead, 16-13, and the basketball. And a whistle as Edwards drives to the right side. Going to be a push-off foul on Marshall Lomas on the drive by Jason Edwards.
Got to be careful if you're St. Mary's. You talked earlier in this broadcast about playing the short lineup, the short rotation. That's 2 on Marshall Lomas and 2 on Saxon.
St. Mary's calling card is they don't foul a lot. Here's Edwards driving, right baseline, nothing there. Goes back to McLaughlin up on top.
That's what Wisconsin always said, but I would argue.
Tanner drops it down low. Magnon got it. Magnon had an opportunity there and almost blew the layup, but it hit the side of the rim and kicked in for a 5-point Vanderbilt lead.
So you have Tanner and Edwards on the floor, the 2 smallest guys out there for Vanderbilt, and then Wessel and Saxon on the floor.
Marshall Lomas got it tipped away right into the hands of Edwards. His running layup is good, and it's a 7-point lead now for the Commodores, 20-13.
2 7-footers for St. Mary's and 2 sub-6-footers for Vandy, and the game picks the pace up a little bit with a smaller lineup.
And that's what Vandy would love to do if they get the opportunity to do it. Saxon around the outside, picks up the dribble, 23 feet from the hoop, hands it off into the hands of Lewis. Lewis throwing back, and Tanner nearly stole it. Sold out trying to keep it in and crashed into the press table along the sideline. Later on, we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stinking places beyond your pits? Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use. So the inbound now for St. Mary's. They've got 11 left to shoot. They've got 13 points right now in 14 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, they have not been able to get the ball inside as much as they like. Vanderbilt's done a good job of lifting their defense and keeping the action out top.
Hardaway now into the ball game. He drives to the left baseline, kicks to Saxon for 3, and there it goes. That finally breaks the 1 for 31 spell from the three-point line, and it gets St. Mary's back to within 4.
Out of all the looks they've gotten from 3, that was probably the worst.
Here's Carey, head of the circle, trying to answer back. Misses it badly. Only Gaels around the rebound in white jerseys as Jordan Ross corrals it and brings it across half court. 5:25 to go in the first half. Ross bouncer to the corner for Hardaway. Now back to the top. Catch and shoot 3 for Lewis. Missed that badly. Rebound tapped around. Hardaway fights for it. Vanderbilt gets it as McLaughlin dives on the floor for it. Commodores slide it ahead. Edwards to the right baseline. Straight on through underneath the basket, then turns around, pops and hits. from 12 feet away.
It's one of those plays where if you don't have the pass, you drive baseline, it's not there. Keep your dribble. Continue to dribble it out. Edwards, good presence of mind to know he can get a shot off.
Vanderbilt 22, St. Mary's 16. 4:49 to go first half. Lewis being met by a defender trying to set a screen for himself. And now here's Ross on the far side, one-on-one. Driving against Tanner, and Tanner is going to get called for the foul. So Tanner gets his second, a blocking foul. Team foul number 4 for Vanderbilt, and an inbound now for the Gaels, who get Luke Barrett back into the game. Ashton Hardaway, Penny's son, goes back to the bench for St. Mary's. Off the inbound, Gaels go to work. Playing without Marshallonis right now. Lewis on a drive, gets the ball taken away, stolen by Magnon. Slides it ahead for Edwards. His layup is good. Great control as it almost got away from him. We've got an 8-point lead for Vanderbilt, and Randy Bennett has seen it up. He's calling for a timeout for St. Mary's.
So Randy Bennett understands this is not a team that plays well when they get down. Why? They want it to be a possession-to-possession contest. They're going to have to pick the pace up.
13-5 run for Vanderbilt. 4:20 left to go in the first half of play, and a timeout on the floor. It's the Vanderbilt Commodors 24, the Gaels of St. Mary's 16. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again, because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's check the attendance, sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is delivering game day deals from hundreds of your local favorites all week. Order now on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. 19,432 in attendance here in Cleveland. And in this 7-10 game in the East region, the 10-seed Vanderbilt leads 24-16 over St. Mary's with 4:20 left in the half. Vanderbilt's got 10 points off 6 St. Mary's turnovers here in this first half.
Really felt the crowd pick up halfway through our first game here. And now it seems like a packed house, standing room only up top.
Marshallonis back in the ball game as he plays with 2 fouls. Cross half court. Saxon also in there with 2 fouls. Now it's Barrett. And Marshallonis playing catch on the perimeter, 10 on the shot clock. Marshallonis picks up the dribble, comes back to the near side for Ross, 6 to shoot. Back to Marshallonis, gotta go. 3 on the timer. He'll try a looping 3-pointer that's an air ball. And the rebound comes down into the hands of Jason Edwards. Did they call shot clock violation?
They did.
I don't know why.
I don't know why Jason Edwards had the ball, but how about Mark Byington out of the timeout, going to that zone? Very disruptive, again, forcing a three that doesn't fall for St. Mary's.
And that brings us to our regularly scheduled timeout on the floor with 3:51 to go first half. Vanderbilt 24, St. Mary's 16. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible result in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
March Madness coming to a court near you. Experience it live as the nation's best college basketball teams compete for a chance to cut down the nets. Secure your seats today at ncaa.com/NBB tickets. And you can download the brand new Westwood One Sports app and catch every minute the men's and women's NCAA tournament anytime, anywhere. Don't be left out. Get the Westwood One Sports app today. I gave that thing a test drive yesterday in the middle of all of those games. Day. Great new app.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a great time to release a new app.
I agree.
There's something going on like this.
3:50 to go first half. Vanderbilt by 8 with the basketball. Winner takes on Alabama here on Sunday. On the drive, Hogard up and under. Scoop shot no good. Marshallonis clears the glass away. St. Mary's needs to get some offense going. Far corner. Three-pointer on the way. Shot no good for Ross. Long tap rebound. And it's going back the other way to Vanderbilt.
2 of 15 right now from 3. No free throws for either team. And as much as we're being critical of St. Mary's, 2 of 12 from three-point line for Vandy as well.
It has not been artistic at all on the offensive end here in this first half, but Vanderbilt will take it. They were embracing the pace, as Mark Byington told us they would have to. There's Hogard on the outside for the Commodors. Gets it to Nickel, standing on the March Madness logo. He'll hand off to Edwards. Knifes his way into the lane. Jump stop in the key. Kick back to Nickel for a three. And he hit it from the top. Tyler Nickel's a 41% three-point shooter. And he's fired up. His team with their biggest lead of the game, 27-16.
The most dangerous guy on the floor is the guy that can get shots off and understands that's what he does. So he seeks it out with confidence.
St. Mary's now trying to break a 7-0 Vanderbilt run. Barauskas for Ross on the right side. Ross, left-handed dribble into paint. Shot up, good, and the foul. They called the block on Jalen Carey. That's a chance at a three-point play the old-fashioned way for Jordan Ross. We welcome those of you just joining us across our network. 2:37 to go first half of play. And Vanderbilt, the number 10 seed in the East, with a 27-18 lead over the 7 seed, St. Mary's. Jordan Ross, the sophomore from Pleasant Grove, Utah, now to the line to try to cap off a three-point play. Ross, left-handed shooter. Shot is no good. And the rebound down to Vanderbilt. They carry it across with a 9-point advantage. Grant Huffman dribbling just inside half court as Vandy sets up in what has been a very deliberate half-court set. McLaughlin hands for Hogarth. Driving down, left elbow. His floating jumper's an air ball. Barrett catches the ball out of midair and fires for Marshall Lonis for St. Mary's. Gaels into the forecourt now. Morauskas holds right side. Double team coming. He's hemmed in. Nowhere to go with the basketball. And they called for a timeout because he was about to get called for 5 seconds right in front of the Vanderbilt bench.
And not a bad timeout because they were trying to get Mitchell Saxon back into the game anyway. Best to have him on offense.
2 minutes to go in the half. Vanderbilt by 9. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Scott Graham and John Crispin here at our Grainger broadcast position in Cleveland. Gain a winning edge for your business with Grainger. Get fast delivery of industrial-grade supplies to help keep your operations going when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. Inbound now for St. Mary's after the timeout. They got 14 to shoot. All the way into the backcourt for Marshall Lonis, who carries it across half court. Picks up the dribble, gets it off to Morauskas, who bobbled it over by the hash mark. 3 left to shoot. He's got to go. Gets it back to Marshall Lonis on top. 3-point jumper up. Off the back iron, no good. Edwards, smallest guy on the floor, skies for the rebound for Vandy. Now into the forecourt. Edwards driving himself. Shot up and good. Jason Edwards, the freshman, did it all himself, and he puts the Commodors back up by 11.
That was all set up by forcing the pass way into the backcourt out of the timeout.
Now Jason Edwards continues doing it all himself and fouls in the backcourt.
14 seconds left on the clock. You get Saxon back in the game. You got to inbound the ball in the front court so you can get him involved in the action. Vandy did not allow that and ended up turning into 2 points on the other end with quick action.
That was Edwards' first, but only the team's 6th foul. So St. Mary's carries it across half court with 1:15 now to go here in the first half. They've only got 18 points here in the first. Ross double teamed as he comes across half court. Off from Morauskas. And now Marshall Lonis, left side, driving into the lane. Jump stop and a floater is good. Augustus Marshall Lonis has been quiet. They need him. And now Vandy takes the use it or lose it timeout with 59.8 left to go here in the first half. Timeout on the floor. Vanderbilt 29, St. Mary's 20. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure with great deals on our legendary Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs, like the Grand Cherokee 4xe, our most capable Grand Cherokee ever, the Jeep Wrangler 4xe, our most capable Wrangler ever, or the Jeep Compass, our most affordable SUV. Hurry in for an exceptional offer during the Jeep Celebration event and let the adventure of a lifetime begin. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Here in the East Region in Cleveland, second game of the day is a fight to see who plays the number 2 seed, Alabama, here on Sunday. Will it be the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, St. Mary's, against Alabama? Or will we see Vandy and Alabama play for the second time this year? First time they played, 190 combined points in the game in Tuscaloosa. Vanderbilt with the basketball and the lead now, up by 9, under a minute to play in the half. Hogarth, near side for Huffman, shot fake at the right block, not once but twice, can't do anything there and kicks back out. Hogarth drives, spins in the lane, shot up, no good. Tap rebound comes out into the hands of Jordan Ross for St. Mary's. Gaels move it ahead. Saxon and Marshall Lonis continue to play with 2 fouls. Barrett in the left corner, nothing there. Now he's replaced in that corner by Ross. They get it inside. Morauskas missed the layup, but he got fouled. Wait a minute. They're saying foul on the floor, not on the shot. So instead of a 2-shot foul, it will be a 1-and-1. Hogard called for the personal.
Well, in all fairness, the foul was well before the shot. Hogard grabbed, and I do believe the officials let it go because it was a wide-open layup. And then they called a bit of a phantom call late. That was an interesting one. Sometimes officials don't call it if the advantage stays offense, but feel like they have to call it if he misses. That was not a shot that Morauskas should have missed. He was wide open.
Morauskas, the newcomer of the year in the WCC, by way of transfer from Arizona. And on the 1-and-1, his first one is good. 75% free throw shooter. He'll get one more try now to make this a 7-point game. Shot clocks are turned off. We've got 26.6 left to go in the first half.
Bit of a grinder here, right?
No, not a bit of a grinder.
Yeah.
We are sailing through a grinder right now. Next one is up, and that one is good. And they'll get Joshua Dent, freshman from Australia, in, and Marshall Otis's half will likely come to an end as he sits with his 2 fouls.
Interesting to still see Mitchell Saxon on the floor with those 2 fouls with 20 seconds left.
Surprised Vandy hasn't gone after him a little bit more. They're just dribbling clock away now. Jason Edwards just inside half court. 15 seconds to go in the half. 1-on-1 right there with Jordan Ross. 9 seconds left. He'll make his move around the top of the circle. Driving right of the lane. In the paint. Lost the handle and the basketball. Driving is Barrett down the floor. His shot just before the buzzer is no good. And that is going to bring the half to an end. The half ends much the same way it progressed for 20 minutes for St. Mary's, with offensive frustration. A team that averages 74 points per game puts up 22 in the first half.
Well, St. Mary's might foul. They had fouls to give. They end up getting the ball back, had a chance at one at the rim. They would have felt a lot better going in down 29-24. Struggle for St. Mary's if you're not making shots to come from behind.
Our halftime score, Vanderbilt 29, St. Mary's 22. When we return, we'll head back to our Straight Talk Wireless studios for the halftime report. Need more data so you can stream your jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. You can choose to get out there. Choose your people. You could choose to go for it. No, like really go for it.
4th down, 28-yard line.
Just choose to do something that moves you. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. Mazda. Move and be moved.
The beauty of a tournament cheat sheet is that someone else spent thousands of hours watching film and analyzing stats, so you didn't have to. When it comes to hiring for your small business, LinkedIn does the same thing with candidates. LinkedIn delivers the strongest hiring data and insights to help you identify the right candidates to make the best hiring decisions. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/SXM. That's linkedin.com/SXM. Terms and conditions apply.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah! Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with 2 people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
It's halftime for St. Mary's and Vanderbilt in Cleveland. Next up at Rocket Arena, it's on to the South region for another 7-10 matchup. Marquette against New Mexico. The Lobos won the Mountain West regular season title for the first time in more than a decade. They'll face a Marquette team that was 18-3 entering February, but just 5-7 since. They do have Cam Jones, though, a second-team All-American, and a guy who averaged 22 points in last year's tournament during a run to the Sweet 16. The Golden Eagles head coach is Shaka Smart, and here he is with our Scott Graham.
I was sitting courtside for your last game. This is a journey. You guys were 18-3, I think it was. And then from there on in, it just becomes one dogfight after the next. How important is it for you guys to be mentally and emotionally sharp right now, maybe even more so than physically?
That's a great point, Scott. I think it's important for every team, but especially when you come out of these power conferences, and if you're not a team that had a magical regular season, like an Auburn or an Alabama, you got to remember that you're good. Even though you've got some battle scars and some wounds and some games that you wish you had back. We lost to St. John's on our senior day in a game where we were up 2 with 20 seconds left, and it just, those games can tug at you. But I think you got to remember that, you have a lot of greatness inside of you. And to your point, if you can be sharp and connected mentally and spiritually, then you got a really good chance.
How good has Cam been this year?
He's been terrific. We've asked him to do so much, and I don't think statistics really tell the tale of how good he's been, because he could have the very same numbers in a game this year that he had last year, and it's like 10 times harder because we don't have number 11 and number 13 from last year, Tyler Kolek and Oso Ighodaro out there. So, last year things just came easier for Cam because of who was around him and because he was third on the scouting report. Now he's 1 and 1A.
Defense travels. It's been a calling card of yours for as long as you've been a coach. In terms of being able to have that kind of buy-in at this point, back to where we were before, long season, it's March, guys are tired. How do you get your team to play defense at the level of energy that you want them to?
Well, I think the first thing is understanding that you have to. And then the next thing is understanding that you get to. The combination of those two things is very important. If you want to advance, then you have to get the order right, and defense has to come before offense. And actually what we tell our guys is culture comes before defense, which comes before offense. So culturally we have to be connected, we have to be loud, we have to be present. There's got to be a level of desperation about us. And then having a willingness to defend with great aggressiveness, even while, Donovan Dent and guys from New Mexico are making plays, we can't be deflated. When that happens, we've got to continue to guard with everything we have.
Marquette head coach Shaka Smart, thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, when we return, we'll check scores and highlights from everything going on so far today. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get...
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW AI architects deliver Microsoft services to automate tasks and boost productivity, helping sales reps connect with more customers. Remote teams collaborate seamlessly, and small businesses compete at scale. That's amazing. Make amazing happen. Microsoft and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/modernwork.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
O'Reilly!
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. In-store only, limit supplies. See store for details. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Vanderbilt leads St. Mary's 29-22 at the half. Welcome back to the Straight Talk Wireless Studios here in Los Angeles. I'm Brad Heller. Need more data so you can stream your jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real.
It up 10. And a timeout taken by Penny Hardaway and Memphis with 8:29 to go. Kyan Evans, a new career high in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Kyan Evans, 23 points, 6 threes. Ryan Radke had the call, and the Rams pull off the upset over Memphis, 78-70. Meanwhile, Duke with Cooper Flagg out there and healthy, blowing out Mount St. Mary's. The score now 61-33. Blue Devils early second half. Flagg has 12 points. North Carolina, rough start for the Tar Heels. They trail Ole Miss 29-14. That is midway through the first half in Milwaukee. Iowa State awaits the winner. The Cyclones shot 58% as they crushed Lipscomb 82-55. Alabama getting a big second half from Mark Sears, 19 of his 22 after halftime. Crimson Tide beat Robert Morris 90-81. Baylor held off Mississippi State 75-72. Claudell Harris Jr. missed the potential tying 3 for Mississippi State in the final seconds. That's the tournament scoreboard, sponsored by MaintainX. MaintainX is the asset and maintenance app that brings your unplanned downtime to zero. Try for free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain and the letter x.com/MVP. Vanderbilt, the 10, leads the 7 St. Mary's 29-22. We're going to rejoin Scott Graham and John Crispin in Cleveland after this. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boosts, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Pit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
At Meineke, doing car care right means our Meineke certified technicians fix whatever your car needs. We fix it right and back it up with nationwide warranties. Brakes? We do that. Tires? Yep, we do that too. Engine repairs, air conditioning, tune-ups, suspension, alignments, oil changes. We do it all. Visit Meineke.com today and schedule an appointment. Each Meineke is independently owned and operated. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
Download the official NCAA March Madness Live app. You can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the men's and women's basketball tournament for free. Just look for the headphones icon, any live game. And if you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. At the official NCAA March Madness Live app today. 7-point lead for this Vanderbilt team at halftime. A Vanderbilt team that won 9 games last year and then went with Mark Byington, who had just been at JMU, James Madison University, and won 32 games last year. He also won an NCAA tournament game in the round of 64 in upset fashion. Higher seed dropping to a lower seed as they beat Wisconsin. Well, today, he's trying to be the second head coach with a round of 64 seed upset for a different team in back-to-back years. He's got that lead right now over St. Mary's. If he doesn't, he will do something that was last done by Tom Penders all the way back in 1988, 1989, when he got seed upsets with Rhode Island one year and with Texas the next. Our halftime score, Vanderbilt 29, St. Mary's 22. On the second half, start when we come back. You're listening to Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Lowe's knows what makes SpringFest savings even better are member-only doorbuster deals. Right now, rewards members can save $40 on an Allen & Roth Chesler Gold faucet. Was $99, now $59. Plus, save $110 on a Cobalt 40-volt battery trimmer and blower combo kit. Was $279, now $169. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/24 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
April 4th, 1988, the culmination of the college career of Danny Manning. Averaging 27 points per contest throughout the tourney, Manning single-handedly carried the Jayhawks on his back all the way to the finals, where he torched Oklahoma for 31 points and 18 rebounds in the championship game.
It's going to happen, it appears, and it comes to Grace. 2 seconds, the long shot, no good. It's over. The dream is real. Kansas has won the NCAA title. Danny Manning with 4 free throws late in the game, and Kansas has upset Oklahoma.
Bob Davis with a call courtesy of the Jayhawk Network. The 11 losses are the most ever by a national champ, but Manning's March performance is another great moment in tournament history. I'm Kevin Kugler.
Back here in Cleveland, 29-22, Vanderbilt on top of St. Mary's. We'll check the halftime stats, sponsored by Barbasol. Barbasol shaving cream delivers a thick lather and close, comfortable shave for half the price of gels. Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol. John, look at this. 14 missed three-pointers in that first half. That's the biggest stat of all for St. Mary's because, as you pointed out, a lot of those are pretty good looks. And what that means is in their last two games, they are 2 for 32. Take it back one more. They are 2 for their last 36 from three-point range.
I think it's fine if you continue to shoot those threes, but you may have to shift or change how you get to those looks, and that means inside out. They just haven't been able to get the ball in terms of a threatening position inside the three-point line. So some of those threes are coming without getting the ball inside first. That's where they're most dangerous, or that's where their biggest strength is down low. So they're going to have to force the action inside the three-point line to play inside-out basketball. But if you continue to get good looks from three, you've got to keep shooting them. You just hope they fall.
They shot just 35% as a whole in that first half. Vanderbilt 45% in that first half. And rebounding-wise, Vandy is staying right with a terrific rebounding team. St. Mary's was 17, Vanderbilt was 15. So time now for the second half keys, sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago electrical connectors. You're up at wago.com/hoops for your next electrical project. Let's start where we are for a St. Mary's team that scored its fewest points in the first half all season long.
I think they do have to push it up a little bit more, but the push is not about scoring in transition. The push is about not allowing the Vandy defense to get set. The set defense for Vanderbilt has really forced the action out. I think that's why it's been so hard for St. Mary's to get inside the three-point line and benefit from their side. On the other side, Vandy needs to push to do the same in their own way, right? Push to get easy transition opportunities, but also push to keep St. Mary's from getting defense set. St. Mary's is strong and rebound really well because their defense is set. If you can keep them from getting set, Vandy's going to control the second half.
Well, this St. Mary's team is only trailing for the fourth time this year at halftime. This is, as we said, the fewest points they've scored in a half all season. They had 24 in the first half against Loyola Marymount. Case in point, they won that game 58-55.
Yeah, this is a different contest, NCAA tournament. You do have to score, but I'd also say St. Mary's is not built to come from behind, similar to Virginia in Tony Bennett's heyday.
You look at this right now, and you got 20 minutes of basketball to go. I'm focusing so much on Randy Bennett's team because there's so much of a spotlight on them because it's been so difficult for them to win at the tournament level, even when they've won in the WCC. Does he change anything? Maybe not in terms of the X's and O's, but mentally in the second half.
I think there's going to be a different urgency, so you may take quick hitter options, maybe look at some quick hitting action early in transition just to soften the defense, because what they've been doing in terms of slow walking it up or slight jogging it up, it's done too much to get Vanderbilt confident on the defensive end.
Time now for the start of the second half. It's sponsored by Indeed.com. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit. St. Mary's in the home white uniforms with the red numerals and lettering, and also the navy blue trim. Vanderbilt in the traveling black uniforms with the old gold lettering, white numbers, and old gold trim. 20 minutes of basketball to play. St. Mary's from our left to our right. And the number 7 seed is on the wrong side now with a 7-point differential. Marshall Lonis playing with 2 fouls as he begins this half. Gets it off to Saxon. Likewise, he's got 2. Spinning at the top of the circle. Hands back off for Ross. Ross into the lane. Nothing there. Gets poked away. Ball loose on the floor. St. Mary's gets it back. Inside, forcing his way up and in, is Morauskas for the first 2 points of the second half for St. Mary's.
And if not for the Vanderbilt gamble defensively, they played good defense. Little gamble took him behind the play, and Morauskas able to finish a tough one at the rim.
Hogard up head of the circle. Gets it into the hands of Magnon, driving and dishing, and McLaughlin has an easy 2 for the Commodors.
On the other end, if Vandy's able to extend that St. Mary's defense out, they have the ball handlers to get where they want off the bounce.
Morauskas dribbling from the half-court stripe in, gets his shot blocked by Nickel over the end line. It last touched Vanderbilt, so shot clock doesn't reset, never hit the rim. 15 seconds to inbound the basketball and get a shot away for St. Mary's.
That was a team block. I think 3 guys got a piece of that.
First minute of play here in the second half. On the outside, Saxon gets hit. And I say that with air quotes. He goes to the ground, and McLaughlin is going to get called for a foul.
More like he got met.
Yep.
Right? Saxon tried to put his right shoulder or left shoulder into McLaughlin, but he was there, and it took Mitchell Saxon to the ground.
Off the inbound, 15-foot jumper, no good for Morauskas, and a fight for the rebound with players down on the floor. I believe that we're going to get a foul call, and it is going to go against St. Mary's and Barrett.
St. Mary's trying to get on the offensive glass, understanding they're missing so many shots, particularly if they're coming from the perimeter. Those are often long rebounds.
So Barrett called for the personal, his first and team's first here in the second half. Vanderbilt with a 7-point lead in the basketball. Hogard delivers around the top and now into the hands of Nickel. Jump stop in the lane for McLaughlin, driving down the lane. Shot blocked away by Saxon. Marciulionis slides it ahead for Morauskas. His shot is blocked, but he's fouled. Magnon thought he had it clean, stopping a dunk from Morauskas. The officials think otherwise. And Morauskas is going to go to the line to shoot 2 for St. Mary's.
That was what looked like one of those rare, easy opportunities for St. Mary's. They've gotten good looks, but getting to those good looks has been tough sledding. Not a terrible foul there, if anything at all.
First free throw for Morauskas, no good. Get good at money, so you can be a little bad. Invest well at Empower.com. Morauskas played 23 games last year at Arizona. Only averaged 2.5 points and a little over a rebound per game. His next free throw, also no good. He missed a pair. Magnon down with the rebounds. Vanderbilt still holds the 7-point lead.
Magnon, not the biggest guy on the floor, but he plays as if he's 7-8 inches taller than he is.
Vanderbilt did a good job of setting up their half-court offense with screens over the course of the first half. Here's Hogard. A screen for Edwards, and now down the lane, off the screen, driving shot by McLaughlin is blocked. Here comes St. Mary's now in transition the other way. Marciulionis, catch and shoot three-pointer. Too strong, no good. Rebound tapped around, and Nickel picks it up off the floor for Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt on that last possession wanted the third foul on Mitchell Saxon.
Edwards driving into the lane, kicks back to Nickel, right side 3, and it goes around and in. All the way around the rim twice, and it falls. Nickel hits his second 3. Vandy's got a 10-point lead.
And Edwards is so difficult to defend because he keeps his dribble when he gets inside the paint. Just watches how the defense rotates and finds the open Nickel. Toughest shooter on the floor.
Saxon's got a double team. Left at the top of the circle to Ross. Ross driving in, leaning in the paint. Hit on the left-handed shot, and he's got a chance at a 3-point play. Wow. That showed great strength in being able to get that ball with the left hand onto the glass. The foul call was on Jason Edwards.
It also showed me a lack of confidence from 3 because it was a good kick-out pass that had Ross been ready, he would have been shot ready, stepping into the shot. But you could just tell St. Mary's no confidence from the 3-point line.
Ross has started every game for St. Mary's this season. And the left-hander's free throw is good. He caps off the 3-point play. Makes this a 7-point game again. Vanderbilt 34, St. Mary's 27. 17-20 left to play here in Cleveland. Dribbling along the outside, it's Edwards. Lost the handle on the dribble, got it back again. Working on Marciulionis. Still dribbling to the foul line, and Marciulionis is going to get called for a reach-in foul. Tony Chiazza blows the whistle. Marciulionis can't believe it. He says, I didn't touch him.
I think part of why he can't believe it is Edwards was going absolutely nowhere. He was just dribbling, nowhere to go, nowhere to pass, and he got bailed out with a call that probably didn't need to be blown.
That is number 3 on Marciulionis. The inbound for Nickel for Vanderbilt now, and all the way back to the top. Magnon driving, spinning in the lane. Shot fake, shot up, no good. But Morauskas hit him on the way up. And that means that Chris Magnon is going to the line to shoot two. Be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio with the NCAA Experience official ticket and hospitality packages. Official NCAA hospitality includes live entertainment, upscale food stations and beverages, appearances by NCAA legends, and much more. To be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio, visit ncaa.com/VIP.
Magnon hits the first one, and he's kind of had that X-factor impact throughout this entire game. He's played big when he's needed to play big. He's contested shots as a secondary defender, and he's been able to beat his man to the basket at times.
First-team All-Ivy player at Cornell last year. Hits on the second. 36-27. Vanderbilt once again by 9. They have kept St. Mary's pretty much at arm's length through a good portion of this ballgame. And a crazy foul by Nickel trying to get in the way of a bounce pass 35 feet from the hoop. He was over the back of Morauskas and called for the reach-in.
There's a part of me that doesn't mind it because what Vanderbilt's doing is they continue to force the action closer and closer to half court and away from the three-point line.
I think they want them on the three-point line right now. Here's Ross. Around the top of the circle to the left side. Drops it down low. Saxon blocked. Morauskas got the ball back, and he missed from close range. Magnon is the one who got the block, and now Vandy out with the basketball.
Secondary defender, Magnon's been there.
McLaughlin thought about it from the corner. Now hands it off for Tanner. He's open for three. Got it from the left side. Tyler Tanner buries a three. It's Vanderbilt by 12.
Feels like an easy layup on one end for St. Mary's. Leads to a block and then a three for Tanner on the other.
Biggest deficit of the game for the number 7 seed in the East. And an offensive foul on Saxon. No, on Marshall Lonis. That's his fourth.
I don't know. He went to split a hard hedge. And yes, he hit McLaughlin, but there are times where it's a play. I don't know. A little extension with the left arm. That might be where you got him.
This becomes desperation time now for Randy Bennett. His 2-time Conference Player of the Year is now going to sit with 4 fouls, 16 minutes to go, and his team down by 12. Grant Huffman, intent to dribble some clock away, now drives, dive down the lane, kick to the corner, right side, McLaughlin 3. That would have been a big one, but it's no good. Rebound down to Luke Barrett. St. Mary's thought about pushing the pace, but that's not what they do, and they'll set up now in the half court.
The challenge is a 10, 12-point lead feels like a 20-point lead when you play possession to possession.
Luke Barrett was in trouble and had to call for a timeout as he was double-teamed on the sideline. So St. Mary's will keep it when we come back, but they are in grave trouble right now here in Cleveland. There's a timeout on the court, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. Vanderbilt 39, St. Mary's 27. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get 2.99% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Santa Fe, Tucson, or Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Chumba Casino is now partnering with 2311 Racing. Chumba is always free to play, no purchase necessary. Find hundreds of online social casino games like bingo, solitaire, and slots, with new games dropping weekly. Grab your free daily login and welcome bonus with a chance to redeem amazing prizes. Play for free today at ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to Chumba. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
The number 10 seed Vanderbilt by 12, 15:34 left to go in the game. And it's time for the Coles fact of the game. Vanderbilt beat 4 top 15 teams this year. First time they've beaten 4 top 15s in the same season since 1987-88. They're led then by the SEC Player of the Year and my sometimes broadcast partner here on Westwood One, Will Perdue. That's the fact of the game, sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. All right, you played the game. Your St. Mary's, your 2-time Conference Player of the Year, is sitting with 4 fouls. How do you get back in this one?
You have to go back down to Mitchell Saxon when you can. You've got to play through him first. They're wasting too much time around the perimeter, and the ball's not getting inside.
Vanderbilt continues to double team and trap off the screens in the middle of the floor. Now a give and go and an errant bounce pass, but St. Mary's keeps it. Lewis holds on top. 3 to shoot. Got to let it go. Nickel got a piece of it. Ball is no good. And the rebound saved in by McLaughlin. Now it's a hot potato, and it last touched St. Mary's hands before going over the end line. And that is going to bring us to another timeout on the floor. 15-11 to go in Cleveland. Do we have another one of the upsets of the day today? Vanderbilt, the 10 seed, leads the 7 seed St. Mary's 39-27. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
When the grass starts growing, it's time to get mowing with Steel. Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel mowers are built to get the job done. Shop in-store or online for 0% financing and instant rebates on select Steel mowers. Steel, let's go mow. Available for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels.
Barbasol. Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
Yo, it's Jacob Astor from Off Campus on College Sports Radio. For full breakdowns of this game and more, tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Channel 84 or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Alongside John Crisp and Scott Graham here at our Grainger broadcast position in Cleveland. Stay on top of your game with Grainger. Get the industrial-grade products right when you need them to help your business move forward when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. I incorrectly identified. The ball was off of Vanderbilt. St. Mary's keeps it. Near side inbound from the baseline and into the hands of Saxon. Going one-on-one and missed on a short-range shot that was challenged, but the rebound down to Lewis. He drives. His shot no good. Saxon pulls it out of the air, banks it. That won't go, but the tip follow finally does. Credits Saxon with the bucket. And St. Mary's back within 10.
I hate to say it this early, but it's almost as if they absolutely needed that to fall.
Alley-oop, and the ball off the hands of McLaughlin. He dunked without a ball in his hands, and St. Mary's comes down with it. Tyler Tanner threw that pass just a little bit high for McLaughlin. Now Ross gets a double team, gets it in the high post. Saxon, head of the circle, hands for Barrett. Barrett doesn't want the three. He's driving down into the lane, hit as he takes the shot and banks it home, but the whistle came before the shot. And the foul call will go against Vanderbilt. It'll be on Tyler Nickel.
That was good little two-man game action with Saxon out top and Barrett with the basketball. Saxon actually slipped the screen, went to the left block, which opened up the right side. Good attack from Barrett.
It was a foul call on the floor. Second on Nickel, who takes his seat. Jalen Carey will come in to replace him. Morauskas comes back out of the ball game, and Harry Wessels in for St. Mary's.
Wessels and Saxon in, two giants on the floor. They've got to be able to dominate and get on the offensive glass.
Off the inbound, Jordan Ross goes to work. Comes around a screen, dives down the lane. His runner is good. This time he wasn't looking to throw to a wing. He went right to the cup. Banks it home, gets his team back within 8.
Wessels did a good job disguising which side the ball screen was on, and Ross really set it up well, was able to get all the way to the basket because of it.
Carey holds head of the circle for Vanderbilt. Now right to the lane, backing his way in on Wessels. Turnaround shot blocked by the big man. And the rebound comes down to McLaughlin. Ball never hit the rim. Shot clock's at 4. Riding through the lane, shot up, no good for Magnon, and rebound comes down to St. Mary's, trying to generate some momentum, now down by 8. And McLaughlin, stepping up to meet him at the midcourt stripe, commits a foul.
Well, Vanderbilt's been so disciplined in their ability to get out and hedge hard on the ball screen, and the purpose of that is to continue to push the action closer to half court, not allowing St. Mary's to make easy post feeds. It's worked, but in transition, you've got to stay high. McLaughlin got a little too low on that, was late.
That's his second, team foul number 6. He comes out. Nickel returns. 13 and a half left to go. Vanderbilt leads it by 8. St. Mary's with the basketball. And Marshall Lonis, their best player on the bench with 4 fouls. Wessels, left block, throws to the top for Lewis. Lewis, shake and bake with the dribble into the lane, trying to throw to the corner. Ball tipped away, gets it back again. Layup no good. Fight for the rebound. Saxon's got it, and he banks it home.
That's where they need to be able to finish. Just get the ball up on the rim. Trust Wessels and Saxon to get the rebound.
6-0 run now, makes it a 39-33 game. More than 3 minutes without a point for Vanderbilt. Huffman driving into the lane. His shot is up, and it's no good. But they had a foul call on Harry Wessels, who was guarding him on his flying attempt through the lane. That's going to send Grant Huffman to the free throw line.
Thought Wessels did a good job defending, but got a little body at the very end on the shot. And that's what you've got to do if you're Vanderbilt. Magnon's out of the game. Magnon's had a huge impact on this game. You're going with a smaller lineup against 2 giants. You got to be able to attack off the bounce.
Huffman, 70% shooter, hits on the first. He'll have another try coming. Transfer from Davidson now in his graduate season. As he got to the end of his time at Davidson, he had no idea he was going to receive his final year of eligibility for this season.
That's a nice gift.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for mine.
Second one is no good, and the rebound taken down by St. Mary's. 40-33. Vanderbilt on top. We've got 12:43 left to play. Ross driving for St. Mary's all the way down to the right block, and now takes the dribble back out. Right side foul line extended. He'll stop for a 3. That shot is good. They needed it. The St. Mary's fans behind the bench rise as one, as the Gaels are now back within 4.
Yeah, they needed that more than anything, right? To see one fall just lights you up. To get your crowd into it gives you confidence.
Jordan Ross got a smile on his face as he goes back on defense. Let's see if St. Mary's can get some swagger back. Edwards driving shot up good. That'll knock the swagger right out of you.
He took on 2 7-foot shot blockers and was able to just get it over the top. It's been tough off the bounce.
Lewis catches the inbound. Edwards said something to him as he went by. He said something to Ross as he went by after that made bucket. Jordan Ross right on the March Madness logo at half court. Around his screen, down the left side. Scoop shot, no. Rebound down to Edwards' hands. And falling over the back of him is Mitchell Saxon, who's going to get hit for the foul. That is not great news for St. Mary's as Saxon gets called for his third. And Vanderbilt will get it back when we come back. Timeout on the floor here in Cleveland. Vandy 42, St. Mary's 36. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
After battling through the brackets, one team gets the chance to climb the iconic Warner ladder. The final net cutting is the culmination of all the hard work and effort it took to reach this moment. And getting here puts these players and coaches in rare air. It's the same for all the trade professionals working from 20 feet to 20 stories. Every day they challenge themselves to conquer new heights. And Warner is the brand they trust to have their backs. Warner, the #1 pro ladder and official ladder of NCAA March Madness.
Let's check the tournament summary, sponsored by Marriott Bonvoy. Take your game day rituals on the road with Marriott Bonvoy. Over 30 hotel brands for every kind of fan. Explore more at MarriottBonvoy.com/NCAA. Top 4 seeds, 10-0 so far in the tournament, winning by an average margin of almost 19 points. The other side, lower seeds, after winning 4 times yesterday, are 2-2 so far today. And right now, the lower seed Vanderbilt, the 10 seed in the East, leads the 7 seed St. Mary's 42-36. Commodors get the basketball with 11:43 left to go.
That's what makes this tournament so special. It does feel like anybody can win a game, but you do get the sense there are some teams, those top 1-2 teams, right? The 1 seeds, the 2 seeds, that are built to be able to make a nice long run. It is always a shock when you see a 7-12 seed win 4 or 5 straight games. That's one of the more remarkable things.
The freshman Tanner into the forecourt for Vanderbilt. Crossover dribble, take down the left side. Finds Nickel, left corner 3. Missed badly, and the rebound comes down off the floor for Luke Barrett. St. Mary's now with the basketball. They've got 9-3 over Vanderbilt since Marshall Lonis went to the bench with his 4th foul. Ross, foul line, pick and roll for Wessels, down on the block. He doesn't like to shoot, but he throws through for an easy 2 on the other side for Mitchell Saxon. 42-38, 4-point game as we cross 11 minutes left to go. Edwards holds on the outside. The freshman with the neon pink coral-colored sneakers steps back into a three. Shot no good. And the rebound scooped off the floor by Mitchell Saxon. By hook or crook, St. Mary's is just climbing their way back into this game.
Marcialonis out. Ross has been really good off the bounce.
He drives, shot up, good. Exactly what you just said on a drive from the right wing. St. Mary's is back within two.
The ability to put the ball on the floor and beat your man is something St. Mary's hasn't had, so lift the defense, Ross beats you.
Edwards around a screen, foul line, stops there, nowhere to go. Kicks back to the outside for Huffman. Huffman between the circles. Now with the left-hand dribble alive from the left side, he'll knife into the lane. Jump stop in the lane, throws back behind to Edwards. Edwards, shot clock down to three, step back three-pointer, partially blocked, it's no good. Lewis scoops it up. St. Mary's can tie or take the lead. Vanderbilt led by 12 at the 16-20 mark. Here's Ross. Far side into the hands of Barrett. Back to Ross again, holds head of the circle. Driving on the left side. Crossover to the right, in the lane, pull-up jumper, back iron, no good. Edwards down with another rebound for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Ross has been the key. They keep going back to him, whether it's a jump shot or a drive to the rim.
Edwards tries to drive in. He's cut off there by Ross and throws back to Tanner now. Vanderbilt's got a hockey line change waiting to come in at the next whistle. Tanner drives to the left block, kick back to Nickel. His three-pointer is way off, and the rebound falls into the hands of Luke Barrett for St. Mary's.
I would look at side ball screen action, allowing Ross to just attack the ball side.
He is their offense right now.
He is.
Just inside half court, picked up by Tyler Tanner. He'll drive him to the right elbow. Kick to the corner. Three-point shot, no good for Lewis. Tip rebound, controlled by Vandy. Here they come out and running. Edwards driving shot, blocked away, and the ball goes out of bounds off of St. Mary's. Edwards pounding the floor, wanted a foul call, but there was no whistle.
There's no whistle because they're just not going to give you an out-of-control drive. The defenders did go straight up, which is, I'm glad that they're finally allowing more of a wall up, so you've got to be under control trying to finish.
Jason Edwards, an emotional guy.
He is. I'll tell you what, he's the kind of guy that he would drive you nuts playing against him, but man almighty, you'd love to play with him.
He's going to take a seat now. As Vandy inbounds the basketball, baseline far side, into McLaughlin, back into the hands of Hogard. And he'll dribble all the way back up to the midcourt stripe. Keeping the dribble alive, 15 on the timer. Now crosses over, drives into the lane, jump stop, nothing there, kick back for Nickel. Nickel to the foul line, throws right through the hands of McLaughlin. Now back to Hogard, 5 to shoot, driving in the lane. His shot finds nothing but a foul call.
Wow.
That is going to be a foul call on Jordan Ross. And that is a bailout for Hogard, who had nowhere to go with the basketball, but now he's going to the free throw line.
Nowhere to go. And as we watch the replay on our monitors down here, he did get armed, but really nowhere to go and got bailed out with only a few seconds left on the. Clearly, Randy Bennett understands that's giving him the best chance off the floor.
Hogard now the guy to pick up Ross after the personnel switch for Vanderbilt. Rounding outside, Barrett thought about a three up on top, gets it off for Saxon. Now hands for Marcialonis, driving, kicking to the corner, left side three is good for Jordan Ross. He ties the game at 43 with 8 minutes left to go.
And that entire comeback was with Marcialonis off the floor on the bench with those 4 fouls.
16-4 run for St. Mary's. Hogard working from the right side. Into the lane as it poked free, but gets it back again. And he retreats. Now we'll take it down the left side. Runner on the way. That shot no good. Rebound. Put back on the way. That's no good for Magnon. Rebound down on the floor. They fight for the loose basketball. Hogard was trying to call for a timeout, but it's a held ball. And the possession arrow points the way of Vanderbilt. The Commodores will get it back when we come back. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to go, and we have got a brand new ball game in Cleveland. Vanderbilt 43, St. Mary's 43. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
Without maintenance teams behind the scenes, everything stops. Even the game. Lights, broadcast equipment, cooling, you ensure the assets that matter most work. MaintainX was built for professionals like you. A modern maintenance app that helps manage work orders, schedule maintenance, and track inventory. So keep the madness on the court, not in your operations. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain in the letter X.com/MVP.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's check the schedule of tournament games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by the 2027 X15 engine from Cummins. Featuring better fuel efficiency, immense power, and backed by 25-plus years of experience, the 2027 X15 is built to rise above the challenges of tomorrow. The X15, forever rising. Our first game here in Cleveland, Alabama got all they could handle from Robert Morris, but they won by 9 to advance to Sunday. They'll play the winner of this game. And then later on, we move to the South region. The 10-seed New Mexico taking on the 7-seed Marquette. The number 15 seed Bryant try to pull the upset against the 2nd seed in the South, the Spartans of Michigan State.
A lot of people talk about that Bryant game versus Michigan State as a potential upset. Robert Morris at Alabama surprised us.
Robert Morris had the lead with 8 minutes to go in that ball game. Inbound for Vandy now, tie game at 43. Hogard running down the lane, throws it right off the hands of McLaughlin, his intended receiver, but McLaughlin saves the ball from going out of bounds off the foot of a St. Mary's player. So Vandy will get an inbound from the baseline far side with 5 seconds left to shoot. Hogard keys it. Alley-oop, and the shot goes. Magnon came unabated down the lane. A perfect pass and a lay-in gives Vanderbilt the lead back.
It was great execution. Magnon basically ran a wheel route around his own player and got free right at the rim.
Vanderbilt has led for almost 28 minutes of this game. Ross from the foul line just shot an air ball. I'm not exactly sure what happened. It didn't look like anybody got a piece of it. But somebody must have, because that ball didn't even hit the bottom of the net before going out. It's going to stay St. Mary's way as Vanderbilt tried to save it but couldn't.
It's one of those examples, if you don't commit to taking the shot, that's what can happen. You're open, shoot.
Barcelonas keys the inbound, gets the return pass from Wessels. And now far side of the floor for Barrett. Barcelonas on top for 3. Got it! Playing with 4 fouls, Barcelonas has just put St. Mary's back on top, 46-45, their first lead since 9-7.
Hard to believe that they have the lead, but you have to remember a lot of that came back. They got back without Barcelonas on the floor.
Hogard driving down left of the lane, and Nickel up on top and back to Hogard. Thought about a step back. Now he'll drive, and a foul call coming as Harry Wessels was hanging on for dear life. St. Mary's up over the limit, so Hogard's going to the line now to shoot a 1-and-1 at the 6:30 mark.
Wessels is doing a good job. I understand he's picked up a couple fouls on long closeouts, but he's done a good job showing high hands and then trying to slide feet with the basketball players, but hard to keep up with A.J. Hogard.
So it is Hogard at the line now. First free throw, no good. A 1-and-1, missed the front end, and St. Mary's the rebound for Barrett. Gaels will take it across now with the knowledge that they lead this game. They've led for just about a minute in the entire of the game. Here's Barrett driving into the lane. Little jump stop shot, no good, but he got hit. And he's going to go to the line to shoot two with a foul call coming on Hogard. Download the official NCAA March Madness live app. You can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the men's and women's basketball tournament for free. Just look for the headphones icon on any live game. If you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Get the official NCAA March Madness live app today. Barrett's first is good.
If St. Mary's is able to hold a little lead here, you're going to see them operate a little bit more in the half court, but they're going to continue to do so with Ross having the basketball out front, Marshallonis off the ball.
Barrett hits on his second. Largest lead of the game for St. Mary's at 3 points. 48-45, 6:10 left to play. Here's Hogard. Try to find a cutter and does. Nickel gets cut off from a three-point attempt. Back to Hogard. Driving past the left elbow. Now left side foul line extended. Picks it up. Gets back to Nickel, who returns it to Hogard. Shot clock at 7. Crossover dribble. Taken to the lane and a dish. Shot on the way. Oh my! Magnon hit it with his back nearly to the basket.
Magnon's been terrific in this game. Even just being present to receive that catch, go up and finish with contact. He's been great.
1 point game, 48-47 St. Mary's. Gaels in the forecourt. Ross leaves back behind. Driving down the lane, it's Wessels, who finally goes to the basket and lays it home.
Good little pick and roll situation. Wessels did a good job gathering, taking one dribble, not picking up a charge, and finishing with a little touch.
Back the other way. Hogard a runner. That shot is short. Fight for the rebound is won by St. Mary's. The two big men crashed into one another, and Marshallonis came in and scooped up the loose basketball.
And St. Mary's had numbers, but they're in no hurry at this point. Right back to Ross with the ball out top.
Well, they got a 5-minute game in their style with a 3-point lead, but Edwards picks the pocket of Jordan Ross. Now he'll try a three. It's up. It's good.
Wow.
And we are tied at 50. Edwards, big-time play, a steal, and a three-pointer. 5th tie of the ball game. And Edwards showing a lot of emotion. He scraped off on a screen and picks himself right back up again. Marshallonis an open three. Got it!
Where's this been?
Totally different ball game now with 4:25 to go. 53-50 St. Mary's. And a timeout called for by Mike Byington, with 4:23 left to play. St. Mary's 53, Vanderbilt 50. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved. And dead weeds in just one day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure with great deals on our legendary Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs, like the Grand Cherokee 4xe, our most capable Grand Cherokee ever, the Jeep Wrangler 4xe, our most capable Wrangler ever, or the Jeep Compass, our most affordable SUV. Hurry in for an exceptional offer during the Jeep Celebration event and let the adventure of a lifetime begin. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Robinhood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Well, St. Mary's has to be feeling almost luxurious right now. They have led in this game for all of 2 minutes and 40 seconds after not leading at all at the WCC final against Gonzaga. They're up 53-50 with 4:23 to go over Vanderbilt, in part because after going 2 for 16 from three-point range in the first half, they've hit 4 out of 7 here in the second.
Yeah, the two Marshall Otis hit, it's coming with him playing off the ball. The 4 fouls took him off the floor. Ross had the ball out top, and they were able to do things like dribble drive, attack off the bounce, which negated a lot of the pressure that's taken St. Mary's out of their offense. Now Marshall Otis comes back in, and he's off the ball. He's getting good looks because they're still working the ball inside and back out. He's gotten wide open threes. He's gotten 2 to go, and it's a different ball game.
We told you at the top, a St. Mary's team that's lost in the first weekend in 7 straight NCAA tournament appearances. They've gotten Sweet 16 since 2010.
There's something to being built to win your conference versus being built to win in the NCAA tournament. I think that's a similar conversation we've had about the Big Ten for years.
Vanderbilt with the basketball. It's in the hands of the freshman Jason Edwards. Edwards, crossover with the dribble, take into the lane, and you're going to get a foul call on the screen set by Devin McLaughlin.
It's just not a smart play. Edwards was on the attack, and McLaughlin tried to step up and set a screen, but you just can't do it. They look for that. That's a point of emphasis. You've got to know better.
And had a football feel for it for Marshall Otis. He is very slow to get up and kind of shaking it off after running into a 230-pound brick wall. Now Marshall Otis has it back, ball in his hands. 4:05 left to play. St. Mary's by 3 with the basketball. Winner gets Alabama here on Sunday. It's Ross to Marshall Otis. One touch near side for Barrett in the corner. Now they get it in the hands of the big man Saxon. Back to Marshall Otis on the top. Steps around a screen. Three-pointer no good. Fight for the rebound. And it is down for Vanderbilt. And a timeout called for by Magnon. He must really be talking about possession by possession. He was falling out of bounds and called for the timeout. I don't know that you wanted to take it there.
I don't know if you really wanted to take it, but you're under your own basket. You're not going to throw it back in under your own basket.
One timeout left for Vanderbilt. St. Mary's 53, the Commodors 50. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure. Hurry in for an exceptional offer on Jeep's Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs and let the ride of a lifetime begin. 3:44 to go. 3-point game. Vanderbilt with the basketball, down by 3 to St. Mary's. Here in Cleveland in round 1 of the NCAA tournament. Huffman with the dribble for the Commodores, hands it off to Jason Edwards. Edwards around the top of the arc, into the lane, shot fake, nothing there, spins, fadeaway, up, no good. Rebound uncontested on the weak side for Mitchell Saxon. And St. Mary's, in their deliberate style, brings it across with a 3-point lead.
Vanderbilt has been sitting in this zone, which is going to require different communications. Marshall Otis working the baseline against the zone.
Edwards pops way out on that zone, and now Barrett gets the basketball on top. They nearly got a steal. They did get a steal. Magnon knocked it away from Marshall Otis, and then Marshall Otis rescued a breakaway basket by knocking it away. It last touched the St. Mary's player, so Vanderbilt will keep it.
You got to have the presence of mind. When you go against a different defense, the rotations are going to be different, so you can't throw back against the defense. Easy pickoff there for Magnon.
But they did not get the easy basket that went along with it. Off the inbound, Commodores go to work. Magnon, foul line, back to Edwards just inside half court. The freshman dribbled off his own foot, but he gets it back again. now with the dribble alive, watching the shot clock wind down. Did they just call a timeout?
Wow. That's his last timeout.
Vanderbilt just used their last timeout to set up a play with 2:43 to go.
You almost wonder if they forgot they just took one with Magnon on the baseline.
Timeout on the floor, 2:43 to play. St. Mary's by 3. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up? Show out? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets.
2:43 to play here in Cleveland. St. Mary's by 3. Vanderbilt with the basketball, and they just used their last timeout, John.
That was pretty surprising. I think it has to do with the fact that Magnon just called timeout on the far baseline. Maybe Mark Byington forgot about that, but that's almost like taking a mulligan, your one and only mulligan on the 14th hole with a few left to play. You now have to do something with this possession. You do not want to waste a timeout at this point, especially when you don't have any left and you're down 3.
And you're missing a key tool in your toolbox for the rest of the way if you're behind. Huffman back behind for McLaughlin. He drives left side of the lane, driving down underneath the basket, throws through. Edwards wants a 3. That shot no good. He beat the shot clock, but couldn't hit the shot. And Marshallonis uncontested for the St. Mary's rebound.
That is an absolutely wasted last timeout. Now with 2:23 left to play, down 3, St. Mary's in control with the basketball.
Working against the Vanderbilt zone that pops out close to half court as they dribble the ball. Playing catch on the outside, Jordan Ross along with Marshallonis. Ross into the lane, throws through, near side 3. Barrett hit it from the right corner. Barrett, a huge three-pointer to put St. Mary's on top by 6.
And that feels like a dagger all of a sudden. Losing that last time out, now you're chasing the game.
Bogdan answers back with a 3 of his own. That's a big shot from Devin McLaughlin, the transfer from Boston College.
It's about as big as it gets, but now you've got St. Mary's just taking their time, just getting it up. Still looks like a zone situation here for Vanderbilt, which I believe St. Mary's is okay with.
Under 90 seconds to play. St. Mary's by 3 with the basketball. Shot clock winding down toward 10. And a pass to the corner, knocked out of bounds by Magnon. So St. Mary's will inbound now with 9 on the timer, 1:18 left on the game clock.
The key against this zone is you got to dribble into the open space, dribble into the gaps to create passing lanes. Otherwise, hands are taking passes away.
Barrett keys the inbound, gets it to Marshallonis. He drives right down the lane, and he got hit, or did he? Ball knocked out of bounds. They're going to call the foul. The foul call is going to go on Grant Huffman. And so with 1:15 to play, Marshallonis, a fine free throw shooter, goes to the line to shoot 2.
That goes back to what I'm talking about. Against the zone, attack the open space. This is not a typical help side, ball side type defense. They're trying to take passes away to disrupt. Open spots you need to attack.
First one is good. Marshallonis leading the team in points, assists, steals, second in minutes, second in three-point percentage. Has played in foul trouble in this one, but his second one is good. So Marshallonis has 14 points for the game. More importantly, his team is up 5 with just 1:15 left to play.
And Wessels comes out for St. Mary's. He's given them really strong minutes, taking a lot of pressure off of Mitchell Saxon, who struggled with fouls throughout this one.
Huffman across half court with a basketball. Gets it to McLaughlin, right side. McLaughlin driving toward the lane. Kicks back to Nickel at 3. Got it! He got it with a hand in his face from 25 feet away. We've got a 2-point ball game.
The one guy you've got to be most concerned with is able to get a shot off, and it was well contested.
48 seconds to go in the game as Ross is picked up by Jason Edwards. Gets it to Saxon. Now hand for Marshallonis. That's where they want the ball. Marshallonis driving toward the top. Cut off there. Shot clock at 8. Finds Ross far side. Ross into the lane. Jump stop. Throws back behind. Barrett driving. Shot up. Got it on the glass. No good. Rebound and the attempted putback. And Saxon is fouled by McLaughlin.
It's really gotten physical now. I mean, both teams getting physical on the defensive end, physical on tough rebounds. And McLaughlin is just falling down. I wouldn't surprise me if they look at this. There's no play on the ball. McLaughlin just pulls him down by the arm.
And if the scouting report that he got is good, he knows that Saxon's only a 52% free throw shooter. Instead of an easy lay-in, he goes to the line now to try to get both points with his team up 2. Shot clock's turned off now. 27.7 left to go. Remember, Vanderbilt does not have a timeout.
It is shocking that they didn't go and look at that because they look at everything.
Saxon missed the free throw badly. So it's going to stay a one-possession game.
Could turn out to be a very smart play by McLaughlin, with Saxon having an easy putback opportunity.
One more try for the grad student from Seattle. 6'10", 250, bends at the knees, studies the rim, fires, and hits. It got all sides of the rim, but it went through. And now St. Mary's will use the timeout to discuss what they're going to do with a 3-point lead and 27.7 left to go.
Yeah, neither timeout for each team, so there's a lot to discuss in this timeout. You've got to talk through a number of different situations. If you're St. Mary's, you got to talk about what situations you may switch, but ultimately you trust the experience on the floor to communicate through a tough defensive possession. On the offensive end, you got to be careful with who's getting the ball in a foul situation. You need Mitchell Saxon as a reliever at times, but you don't want him to end up on the foul line if you're only up 1.
The biggest question right now is in a 3-point ball game, depending upon how long Vandy takes to get a shot away, do you potentially foul and don't allow them the opportunity for a 3-pointer? They've hit 3-pointers on their last 2 attempts.
I don't mind the foul situation if I'm St. Mary's because I have big rebounders. Now, the situation is you can't let it happen too early. And a lot of times teams do that and they just extend the game for the opponent. So if Vandy's going to take time scoring and it gets under 10, maybe a foul's not a bad idea. At the same time, defend the 3-point line. You give up a layup, you give up a layup.
Vanderbilt would love to play a faster game. You're not going to do that with St. Mary's, but now they're going to have an opportunity to try to do just that with 27.7 to go. I also would not be surprised to see some backcourt pressure right now on the inbound because Vandy doesn't have a timeout.
You have to pressure, but don't over-pressure to the point where you give up a numbers advantage. That happens a lot where you try to pick up and then you get beat, and now you're chasing the play, and it eventually does lead to a foul. It's also 2 shots for Vandy.
Marshallonis is going to key on one player on the inbound, but they're not pressuring the basketball, and here comes Vanderbilt across. 24 seconds to go. Vanderbilt down by 3 with the basketball. Huffman off for Edwards. Thought about a 3. Gets cut off. Now dribbling left side. Steps back. 3-pointer. No good. Rebound tipped. McLaughlin got a hand on it. Now it's loose on the floor. It's picked off the ground by Huffman.
No timeout.
7 seconds to go. Huffman throws out. McLaughlin a 3. Shot. No good. Rebound down to Ross. And that is the ball game. St. Mary's hangs on. 2 3-point attempts by Vanderbilt in the closing seconds were off the mark. And the Gaels survive and advance to take on Alabama here on Sunday with a 59-56 come-from-behind win against Vanderbilt.
Well, we've had 2 today. 2 absolute survivors. This St. Mary's team was down. They were beat. I was close to calling it a game when one of the best players in WCC over the last 4 or 5 years, Marshallonis, goes out with the 4 fouls. I thought it was over, but Ross goes to the point, and they create opportunities to score. They cut back into it. Marshallonis comes back in. He's off the ball. 2 threes. The game has changed. I think the end-of-game situation, a real challenge for Vandy with no timeouts, no ability to set up a play in the half court. That really hurt them. And I misspoke. It would have been 1-1 for Vandy, but no worries. Good defensive possession, force tough shots, and get out of here. Randy Bennett's got to feel good about that one.
Each team shot an identical 22 for 55 for the game. Vanderbilt made one more three-pointer, but they needed one more than that to try to get this game tied and force overtime. Instead, this one belongs to St. Mary's. And joining us courtside is one of the winners, Jordan Ross, whose team just survived and advanced. First of all, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You had a lot to do when Marshall Otis went to the bench. That ball was in your hands for a good portion of the time. Is that basically the plan?
Yeah, for sure. We practice it in practice. We practice all type of situations, all type of lineups. So it wasn't new to us when he got in foul trouble.
How much of a challenge was it? They're hard hedging, continuing to force things closer to half court. How hard was it to break that down and finally start getting into the paint?
It was difficult at first. We had to get used to it. We faced it in the WCC championship game with Gonzaga. So that helped us. That prepped us, and we worked on it in practice, so we were ready.
How good did it feel to finally start seeing some threes go down? Marshall really hit a couple too. You hit them as well.
Yeah, Goose, shout out Goose, because he wasn't playing well, but he came off the bench and hit some big shots that we needed, so good on him.
Is it hard to continue to try to take that three-point shot, knowing that you don't know the number, but at one point you guys were like 1 for your last 31 three-point range?
Yeah,
is it hard to keep shooting?
It's difficult sometimes. It gets in your head mentally, but we talked about it at halftime. We practice those shots. They're great shots. They're going to fall eventually.
We call them clappable misses. You did everything right. It just didn't go in.
For sure.
I'll tell you what, you get into a situation now where short rest time, you got a big-time opponent that wants to play as fast as possible. Yes, you guys want to play at your pace. What do you see coming down the road against Alabama?
It's just going to be a battle of who can do what they do best. So we're going to try to play our place and play our game and have them adjust to us.
Jordan, thanks so much. Really do appreciate it. And good luck on Sunday.
Good luck. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That is Jordan Ross, whose team just got a win, maybe in improbable fashion, 59-56, as the 7-seed St. Mary's advances over Vanderbilt to take on Alabama here on Sunday. Time now to select the player of the game, sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows what makes SpringFest savings even better. Our member-only doorbuster deals. Shop these limited-time savings before they're gone. Lowe's, they help.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why...
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single college basketball game of March Madness. Every single game. Speaking of which, I've got to start that next stream right now. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
Break right now, but St. Mary's and Vanderbilt duking it out on the floor here. They went the entire full 40 minutes before we finally got ourselves a winner. I want to take the opportunity, too, to thank Luke Brown and Connor McAndrew for their help.
Good game notes
in getting us ready for this ball game. Our final score, St. Mary's 59, Vanderbilt 56. When we return, we'll have more of the All-State postgame report. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
In the face of uncertainty, some things remain steady. Like the Cummins 2027 X15, built on 25 plus years of experience and delivering up to 4% better fuel efficiency in a weight-neutral system. The X15 gives you the strength to move forward fearlessly and confidence that no matter the obstacle, you can and will rise above it. The 2027 X15, forever rising. Estimates based on preliminary testing. Individual results may vary.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Welcome to the Tournament Post-Game Show on Westwood One, sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Back here in Cleveland, our portion of the day involving the East is over. At least right now. We move to the South coming up after this. But we ended up seeing two teams that were the higher-seeded teams that each had to grind in every possible way from two different perspectives. Alabama did it one way, but it was St. Mary's doing it another way with their best player on the bench with 4 fouls coming from behind in their fashion at their speed to beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they had to adjust quite a bit. And you know, Jordan Ross came over, talked to us, and he said it's something we prepare for, we practice. But until you have to do it in the NCAA tournament, being down 4, 5, 6 points, at 10, 12 at times, that's a difficult ask. Jordan Ross was great off the bounce. It shifted the way Vanderbilt defended, but it also shifted the way Vanderbilt was able to play on the offensive end. They didn't play as freely offensively when Jordan Ross had the basketball in his hands. And I think St. Mary's found a little something that was able to create rhythm. The rhythm you create allows you to make some shots. It completely shifted that late second half surge that gave St. Mary's the win.
Let's check some of the stats, sponsored by Intuit TurboTax. With TurboTax, Now Taxes is getting an expert who files your taxes for you so you can stay focused on following your bracket. Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. Told you before, the team's an identical 22 for 55 from the floor for 40% for the game. Vanderbilt had one more three-pointer, but St. Mary's, we told you about that drought. It had reached 5 out of 50 over the course of the last 3 games before they finished 5 of their last 7 from three-point range. They also win the rebounding war, which you knew they probably would, 41-28 in this game. Ross had 15 to lead the way for St. Mary's, Marshall Onis with 14, and on the other side, it was the freshman Edwards, the only player in double figures for Vanderbilt with 18 points.
You know, I would tell the St. Mary's team that shooting is a mentality. It is simply a mentality. You've done plenty of the repetitive things like working on your form and taking shots. It is all about mentality. So if there's anything you're going to focus on heading into the next round where you're going to have to make some shots, it's getting your mindset